to save time, I've already done my foundation, and I will have everything I used listed below. I'm going to go in with the Maybelline concealer and conceal under and around my eyes because this is a pretty harsh look. We want all our skin to be flawless. Now I'm taking this Beautique eyeliner that I got from Sally's Beauty Supply. It's in the shade Auburn, and I'm going to be using that to structure the tail end of my brows just a bit. I don't really need to fill them in or make them strong. I actually need to make them curve more softly because that's how Bridget's eyebrows are. After softening that with a spoolie, I'm going to go in with the lightest kind of ashy taupe shade from this Bodyography eyebrow trio. And I'm going to use that to softly fill in the front of the brows. I'm kind of avoiding making them look too arched or structured because her brows were really understated. Now I'm going to be taking a MAC paint pot in soft ochre, and I'm going to be using that as my primer. I prefer to use something flesh tone because, as I stated, this is a bit of a harsh look, so we need to calm down the skin around it. I'm also going to be taking the Lorac eyeshadow in cream from the Pro palette, and I'm just going to be using that to set the primer we just laid down so it's a little less sticky. Now I'm going to be going back in with the shade Taupe from the Pro palette, and I'm going to be using that to map out the shape of our eye. Bardot had this sort of sleepy cat eye, and while I am going to extend the end of our eye later, we're really just going to lay down some shadow in the outer lid. However, what I found to be really unique about Bardot's style is she would go in and define the inner corner and crease, while most people are trying to not accentuate it. And by doing this, it gave her eyes a lot more character while making her a little bit more sultry and sleepy looking. And this sort of sleepy sex kitten type of cat eye that she is known for later became used as inspiration for Baby Doll's character in the movie Sucker Punch. Now I'm going to be taking a clean blending brush, and I'm just going to be softening a little bit of the work we've done. We don't really want to blend or smoke it out, we just want to soften things a bit so they're not too muddled. Now I'm going to be taking a brown but almost black Stila eyeshadow in the shade Damsel, and I'm going to be using that to start our eyeliner, dragging it in from the outside of the eye. And unlike most looks I do, this one you will actually be going almost all the way in with the darkness, and you're going to stop just short of the tear duct. With a softer hand, we're also going to be doing the same thing on the bottom of the eye. Now, Brigitte Bardot occasionally, but most of the time, didn't even waterline her eyes, but I am a little bit on the outside just to get my eye to have a little bit more of an angle like hers. I'm also going to be taking this tight lining brush and smoking out a little bit of a wing for now. I'm going to be using the shades Sable and Espresso, and I like Espresso because it's brown, almost black. It looks black on me, but I'm going to be using that to soften up the edge of our bottom eyeliner and the top. And you can see I've dragged that almost all the way into the tear duct. Now to clean up, I like taking a Q-tip and a makeup wipe, and I like to use that to keep the edge of my work ultra defined. This is the easiest thing ever, and I like to call it making a ghost, because it seriously looks like one of those suckers you made at Halloween as a kid. Now I'm going back to the shade Espresso, and I'm going to be using one of my favorite pencil brushes that I have ever owned, and I'm going to be using that to really drag out and smoke up the cat eye, and I'm also going to use that to make the liner a lot thicker and bigger. It should mainly cover most of our outer lid and make it look even more hooded, and depending on how much room you have on your lid, you might want to leave a little bit of the front of your lid open. Now I'm going to go back in with that small shader brush we first used taupe with, and I'm just going to redefine those areas that I think accentuate what made Bardot's entire eye look so sensual. I also patted a little bit of cream eyeshadow on the inner tear duct area just to keep everything a little bit smooth and cohesive. And then I lined my eyes with the Physicians Formula Liquid Eyeliner Pen / Serum. After I've curled my eyelashes, I applied a thin layer of mascara, and we're only going to do a little bit of mascara on the bottom of the eye because the eyeliner is already speaking for us. I then picked some false eyelashes that flare out on the end, and I wanted some that were full and thick and matched her sort of long cat eye shape. Now I'm going to be taking the e.l.f. Studio Blush in Candid Coral, and I like to use this one because it's just a really subtle sort of peachy shade, and I'm going to be applying that to my cheekbones. And then I'm going to be taking the Pixie Subtly Bronzed Bronzer. I mean, it's a bronzer. And I'm just going to be warming up the face and maybe even contouring a little bit around the cheekbones. I'm also going to take my MAC ProLongwear concealer and I'm going to be covering my lips because we're going to go in and we're going to do a really full lip, and I want to make sure that I have a base for that. Using the Jordana lip liner in Rock and Rose, I'm going to be lining my lips, and I picked this color because it's a little bit darker than a nude lip that I would be using, and that was kind of the trend with what Bardot did with her lips. Her lip liner was sometimes almost a little bit visible, and she also, you'll notice if you look at her pictures, skimmed over her Cupid's bow, and she even still does that to this day. She kind of ignores that it's there and makes her lip appear fuller by just kind of connecting the points of the two Cupid's bows. I'm then filling in the lips with L'Oreal's lipstick in Fairest Nude. I picked this one because it has a mostly matte finish like what she liked to wear. Now to make my lips look even fuller, I'm going to go in with one of my palest concealers and I'm going to blot that on the center of my lips and then blend it out. That way hopefully my upper lip will look somewhat as nice as hers. Now I'm going to take down my hair and prep it to be a little bit more full, and my bangs are much shorter than hers. Hers just kind of part with the accentuating sides of her hair, but I'm deciding what pieces to pull down before I pull the top half of my hair back. Her hair was mostly wavy, so I just kept mine as it is, and I tried to work with the pieces and move them around to frame my face and get a little bit more volume. Alright, that is my finished Brigitte Bardot tutorial. I really hope you guys like the particular looks and inspiration I pulled from, and as I said, this is part of a beauty collab that I did with some other girls on Iconic Beauty, so please check them out. I will have their videos and their channels linked at the end of the video and below.